What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Tight Lines and Brow Times podcast. We're glad to have you here with us. On the previous episode, the guys kind of catch up after being away from the podcast room for a little while. Jon quizzes us on the most expensive item we've lost in the woods, and we have a pretty serious discussion revolving around gun safety. So
we did, yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that episode, head over to our YouTube channel and check that one out.
Yeah, I had something last weekend. Went out last weekend fishing, caught a bunch of fish, and I was home cleaning
Always
them.
a bunch of fish.
I don't always catch a bunch of fish, but this day I did.
Did you limit out?
I did limit out.
Okay, it's a bunch of fish.
So
limited out by what time?
10:15.
Oh, it's a good day.
10:15.
Good day.
Good day. So I was home cleaning fish, and I've cleaned lots of fish, and had a big black crappie there I was cleaning, and filleted that one side, flipped him over, or laid that fillet open. Gonna cut it off the skin, and that meat was just gray. And I don't know. It wasn't white like it's supposed to be. It was gray. So I said, so I flipped him over, filleted the other side, laid it open, gray also. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
I looked, I didn't see nothing in it. So I just threw it away. I was scared. I don't know if it's.
Was it like a dark gray?
It just a dark. I mean, like about to cover that computer right there. Kind of gray and just look. It wasn't supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
No, I'd be curious what causes that.
Kind of cloudy looking, huh?
It was gray. It wasn't. I don't know. Anybody ever come across that? I'd be interested to know.
Yeah,
well, it was a Lake Palestine crappie, so there ain't no telling what was in it.
Well, I haven't seen that before. I've cleaned several out of Lake Palestine.
I threw it
But
away.
have you cleaned as many as him?
No.
Out of Lake Palestine?
No, he has not. Not even close.
Out of Lake Palestine?
No, not even close.
Well, Parks and Wildlife did just come out probably a month ago.
He's not even going to entertain it.
Probably a month ago, Parks and Wildlife came out and released a bunch of lakes.
Yeah, I saw
and different types of fish. You can only eat this much fish.
Yeah, Lake Palestine wasn't on that list. I actually read the whole thing.
Should have been. That's what I'm saying. Should have been.
Yeah, it might have been.
No,
it was a lot of river sources, but even in the river sources, it was like just this section from this section.
Right.
Like it wasn't like specific to don't eat out of the Sabine River.
Well,
which
and
I
it was.
wouldn't, but
it
I
was.
mean,
It was specific to fish too.
Oh yeah.
Like crappie wasn't one of them, but I did see where black bass was. Catfish was definitely one of them.
I don't know about it.
Well, I mean, if you're eating bass anyway, you have a recliner on the deck of your trailer house. So,
That is true. Just
No,
remember,
it's probably just a freak deal. You know, it probably was. I haven't. I see a game warden or a biologist anywhere, which odds of that happening are slim. But I'm gonna ask them. But it's the first time I've seen it, so I just threw it away and didn't want to take a chance.
I would have done the same thing. I don't know what. I've never encountered that.
that's
I would have been
interesting.
leery of it.
Well, so my mom dropped a little package off at my house. I guess it was last week. So her and Dad had gone to Louisiana. My dad kept it side by side at my grandma's house, and he brought some stuff that I had in the back of the side by side. So it was when you and I went duck hunting over at the deer lease the last couple of weeks of season, and
how many ducks did y'all kill then?
we shot a limit Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. We weren't set up right Saturday morning.
We didn't really do any scouting. We just knew there was some ducks back in there. What is the problem?
There's no problem.
Not a problem at all.
Well, how many ducks did you shoot that morning?
How many ducks?
I
I
didn't
don't know
hunt
what
that
day it
day.
was.
Yeah.
How many ducks have you killed in the last year?
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Well, we ran into a little adversity, and I meant to bring them and set them up right here on the podcast table, but we get to the deer lease Friday, and you know what Big Dave forgot? Decoys. So what did I do?
Floated on your back and was one yourself.
That's a big duck, baby.
Be a big decoy
Yeah,
right
we
there.
weren't goose hunting.
Not quite that creative.
No. I drove to the most overpriced retail store in Ruston, Louisiana. I drove to McKinney Honda.
He's gonna blast them on the.
Dude, I am gonna blast them because them
They
dogs
are high.
had like half a dozen decoys for like $60, $70,
Jeez.
$120.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing special about them though.
I paid $40.
No.
I paid $40 for half a dozen green winged teal. The smallest decoy on production, $40 for half a dozen.
6 little bitty old decoys.
Yeah.
And I wasn't about to buy any weight because they had like a dozen Texas rig weights for like $50.
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Supply and demand. I've been there before. Supply
You're
and
not-
demand.
you're
Yes,
not
you have.
kidding.
He's been on the
He's been on the
supply side, not the demand.
So I remembered.
Well, he does supply and then demands a certain price. Is really
exactly.
Hey.
So I remembered I had some decoy string in my blind bag. So I drove back to Arcadia and hit up a little hardware store, and I got about 3 foot of chain and had them cut it into 1 foot sections. So I had 6 decoys, 1 foot of chain per decoy. I just tied one decoy to each end of the chain.
There you go.
We threw them out there in pairs.
There you go.
And so I
Improvise.
completely forgot about it. When my mom brought them over, I was like, oh, hey, there's those decoys I bought. And I start trying to pull them out, and, man, it's just a freaking spider web of chain and string and stuff. And I'm like, what in the world's going on?
Which is probably why people don't usually use chain to anchor their decoy.
I don't
I
advise
don't know if anybody uses chain on duck decoys,
Well,
but
you
whatever.
know, we were in Arcadia,
yeah.
Louisiana, and we did the best we could.
I heard that. That's what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But I have another viewer and our number one listener has contacted me recently.
Number one listener, the syndicated podcast critic, B-Man.
That's him.
Okay.
Oh,
He contacted me this week and he said, man, what's going on? I said, oh man, just been working hard, and podcast, been doing a little filming. We're gonna film this
So he
weekend.
started out lying, but go ahead.
we're gonna film this weekend. He said, well, he said, I've been noticing something.
Oh, man.
And I said,
well, is he pleased with the?
he is.
Progress
He
of the
said,
show.
man, I like it. He said, I get a good laugh out of it, and then we talk
Well,
about
but
you.
B-Man had some advice on.
He did.
Yeah, and he's not scared to give his input on things.
No.
And I take him at his word.
I don't know.
mean,
I don't know him, but I know that about him.
He does give us, give me a lot of flack over stuff, but
We should have our listener as a guest one time. He sat on the couch.
and yeah, we should. We're gonna need a bigger jar right here, but we should. But that's neither here nor there. But anyhow, he is right a lot, and I'll give him credit for that. And this specific thing we're finna talk about, he's really right.
Oh,
Oh,
And he said, hey man, he said, been watching the show and everything, and he said, what's all that LSU stuff
Right.
on the wall?
Yeah,
And I said,
yeah.
well, I said them they're transplants. And he said, they?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? And I said, well, Jonathan and Big Dave, they're Louisiana boys.
Right.
They're transplanted. They packed up and moved to Texas. I said, they're not from here.
well, I think we were moved. I don't think we
Well,
moved.
Yeah.
Y'all came from Louisiana
We did.
to
That is-
Texas.
That is a fact.
Y'all are Louisiana boys.
That is a fact.
And he said, this is his words. Oh, hell no. And I said, well, what? He said, y'all need to make a change.
Oh.
I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm going to send you something,
Okay.
and I want you to take care of it for me. He said, can you handle it? And I said, yes, I
Absolutely,
I
he
can handle
can.
it.
Yep.
So a viewer has sent
I
something
can.
into the show.
He has.
It's a
like it.
first. It's a first.
All
There
right.
you go. All right.
And I have it right here. We're going to reveal it at this time
Oh,
from our
dang, I'm
number
scared
one
now.
listener
I liked it just until
in
now.
Tatum, Texas.
Okay.
B-Man.
What you got for us, B-Man?
Man with 2 first names, Byron Henry.
Uh-oh.
He done broke it. He done broke it, B-Man.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
We like
All right. That you can't hang that up in here, but you can take that
Oh,
home.
yeah.
Oh, he got.
For time being, it's
There you
going
go.
right here.
There you go.
The next show, we're going to move it. That's going to be a permanent
Yeah.
part of our show from our number one listener.
I told you if you
Okay,
brought it,
right
put it
there.
up.
And we've talked about it. If it
Yeah.
comes down or anything's bad, so then we're gonna boycott the show. Me and Cutter.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
start our own podcast.
So,
Well,
Oh,
my
wow.
wife is a diehard Longhorn.
Yes.
is she?
So
Yes,
she,
she
yes,
is.
she is.
She'll appreciate
She will
that.
There you
appreciate
go.
that.
She'll appreciate
She
that.
will
So
appreciate
this is from him. He sent that to us. He said, I want to see that on the show. And that'll kind of change the whole
That's
dynamic.
awesome.
It'll
I
sit
said,
right
all
there.
man,
It ain't
I'll
going
take care of
nowhere.
it.
I like
So
it.
there you go, buddy.
I told y'all from the get go. You bring some
Yeah.
Texas stuff in here, we'll put it up.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
No, I think he said cowboy stuff or
Oh,
Rangers.
yeah.
Ain't that what he
Yeah.
said?
Yeah, well,
Cowboy
I-
stuff. Because
Yeah.
Don't bring cowboy stuff. in.
No,
because,
yeah,
you know,
I
this
said,
is-
well,
this is
there
gonna-
won't be no cowboy.
Soft
you know
subject.
what's going to happen? So it's official now. Texas and Oklahoma are moving to the SEC
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't like
next
it. but
year.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too excited about
So-
that. But,
I'm not.
No, yeah, LSU is sweating. They're already sweating.
oh no,
They're
sir.
sweating.
They're sweating
Hey,
bullets
so
already. Yeah.
since he brought that up,
Yeah.
the other day I said, you know, it's going to come a day when LSU is going to be playing Texas, and I said, when that happens, we need to have a watch party over here at the house. You know, y'all
Yeah.
come over and watch the game.
Yeah.
He already started dismissing it. No, because that'll be a primetime game, I'm sure, and I'm just not. That's just going to be too late. I mean, this is like over a year out,
Right.
and he's already no, just ain't gonna be able to
It
make
might
that
be.
happen. Just not gonna be able to make that
Well,
happen.
We'll see.
Here, I don't hate Texas. We fly a LSU flag and a Texas flag in front of our house.
All right.
That's
And,
respectable.
and
Good deal.
me and my wife have an agreement that whoever is ranked higher gets to be closest to the door, because you can't quite see the one on the west side of our house because of the neighbor's house and stuff.
Okay.
So we have an agreement that whoever's ranked higher gets to be closer to the door.
Convenient
So
for
So
you,
LSU
huh?
got to be close to the
Yeah,
door
I
last
was
year.
gonna say convenient.
We've held up that deal pretty well. I think I got a little butthurt about some of them and kind of kept LSU close to the door, you know. But so yeah, we fly a Texas flag. I don't hate Texas. I'll tell you this.
Why
Texas,
would you?
They are one of the most overrated schools from an athletic.
Oh, Jesus.
Their
Christ.
baseball team is really good. In fact,
that's not athletics.
me- baseball.
Wait a minute.
Their football program is
Didn't their
extremely
women's-
year after year after
Did he say
year.
that?
He said that last year the Texas women's volleyball, didn't they win the national championship last year? I believe
Well-
they did. Yeah.
We're really going to sit here and talk about women's volleyball.
That's
I've
a-
already
that-
I've already got into it with John. I could care less that LSU's women won the national championship in basketball.
Yeah, I don't care much about
He was
that.
throwing a fit about I wouldn't watch the LSU women's basketball game.
In
Yeah.
the championship.
I don't
mean,
matter. I don't
just-
like that coach. She's a drama
Well,
queen.
the reason there's so much LSU stuff in here is Michelle and I both are LSU fans. We don't have any Texas fans in this house, but that will sit right there and stay right
No,
there.
we're
I
gonna
told
move
you
it.
it
We're
would.
gonna probably put it over here, but and make
Don't
it
get too carried away. I mean,
Yeah.
how many holes
No.
you gonna put in my
Take
wall?
that down?
No,
Yeah,
you're not
take that
taking
down.
that down. You're
We're
not taking
gonna
that down.
move it, but
You
for
don't
today,
touch-
it's gonna stay right here.
You don't touch Joey B, or you're going to
No.
come back missing some limbs.
Now,
That's
wait,
exactly
Joey,
right.
Joey who?
Joey B.
That's right.
That's, Joey is the backup. I don't know.
No.
We ain't worried about Joey B.
Oh.
Well, it's gonna be here for today. But anyhow, there we go.
All right.
That's
Good
all I
deal.
got on that.
Thanks,
list.
B man. We
All I'm
appreciate
going to
it.
say is Texas
Yeah.
has the #1 recruiting class in college football just about every year. And when's the last time they were in a serious bowl game?
Oh,
Moving on.
Yeah. yeah.
I ain't got nobody- You know, and listen, I understand this is a hunting and fishing podcast, primarily, but I'm going to stay off of it for just a second because here's something that happened last time that I need to address both Big John and Big Dave. Last time we were together, both of them.
Okay.
Okay, we had a little poker
I
night.
feel like y'all are teaming up.
No, this has nothing to do with
Okay.
Cutter.
All right. Go ahead.
This has nothing to do with Cutter.
What? Anytime y'all have something to bring up, it's never at each other. It's either me or him.
I don't got no
What's up
problem with being.
No, I want to hear about the poker night because I actually made money that night. It wasn't
Yeah.
much, but I didn't lose money.
Well, so poker night. Had a
Okay.
big poker night, right?
Yep.
And there's some good music playing. We got some good music playing here. A little Chris Stapleton, some Cody Jinks. I'm like, oh yeah, got some good
Yeah.
stuff
So what's the
going.
problem?
And well, we're getting there. And Big Dave says, well, what do you like? And I said, no, man, I like this. This is good stuff, right? It's he said, what else you like? I said, oh man, Turnpike Troubadours. They're good. They're probably the best in
Who?
Texas, right? Turnpike Troubadours.
Okay.
And so we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And I said, he said, oh, give me a song. So I gave him a song. You know what he did? He started playing it. And then he quit playing it 10 minutes in and put in some stupid shit that y'all both. Listen, here's what I've learned about Big John and Big Dave. If there's no mention of Walmart, a dirt road, or a pickup truck in the first 30 seconds of the song, it's garbage.
That's just the world we
That's-
live in, man.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's-
that's false.
it
That's
is,
false.
it is.
You stereotype.
It's not false.
Yeah, it is
No,
false. You
not-
stereotype
I agree with
our
Ben.
music.
Yeah.
I agree with Ben.
Yeah, y'all
Hey, I agree with
stereotype.
I think so. Music is a very personal kind of thing. People like certain kinds of music. There's bands that I listen to that don't have 1 million views on not even one song on Spotify. But I guarantee you that whatever song we listen, it was probably Morgan Wallen or Hardy or something like that.
it was probably, yeah.
But I guarantee
I like
you,
those guys.
I guarantee
You do?
you,
Yeah.
there's far more.
Hardy. I like Hardy.
I don't
Thank
know
you.
who that is.
I do. I
Well,
like it.
that's the
like it.
problem. You don't.
You
You're
don't
not well
venture
versed
out.
in music. You don't venture
Oh,
out.
I'm very
No,
well versed in
you're-
music. I am.
It's one
What I
specific
don't-
type.
What
of,
I don't like is the formula-based crap that comes out of
no,
Nashville
it's
that y'all
Texas
crank
country
up.
and
Well-
nothing
No,
else
it's
matters.
not Texas country. I mean, I can go Clapton, I can go Hendrix, I can go Bob Marley on any given day. I can
Okay.
But
freaking
you
flip
don't.
a-
But
flip
you
the
don't
script
go
like that.
Bob Marley.
I
on any
do.
given
Just
day.
last week I listened
Anytime I'm with you, it's Texas country. Nothing else matters.
No, when are you with me?
Hey, the fact is, the formula sells. You look at Turnpike Troubadours or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. You look at their top 5 songs on Spotify. I guarantee you, Morgan Wallen,
Yeah,
5,
he's a
6
beast right
years
now.
into his career, has far
because
more
that's the
listens.
society that we've been that the consumer has been forced to adapt to by
No,
the music
anybody
industry.
has
So
the
what
opportunity
makes
to write
the
any
music
song.
trash? What makes the music trash?
It's not true. It's not sincere. It's not written, and it's not pure. It's been edited
According to
cut.
who?
According to anybody.
No.
Pull up Morgan Wallen and see how many of his songs he's written. See how many.
Morgan Wallen is a songwriter.
He's a songwriter.
Okay, but how many of them? All of them? I don't know. I mean, I'm speculating.
Probably a lot.
I'm not talking about Morgan Wallen. I'm just
I
talking.
guarantee you, Hardy writes every one of his songs.
I like Hardy.
Well, you hush. You supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side. I do like Hardy.
Well, that was a bad night for you in general because you
Yeah,
we
you
wouldn't play
came
music.
in eating water.
We wouldn't play you.
I had a stomach virus.
we wouldn't play your music. You had a stomach virus.
Well, you did.
We
play
would-
my
And
music
you
because
lost
you
almost
had-
all your money.
We
No,
would-
I didn't. I lost $7.
We played anything but
I
Texas
think I got
Hold'em, and you were
$11.
out.
No, it's 13.
You can't. I'm the banker, bro.
It was
You can't-
13.
No.
My problem is this polished crap that these guys call music is just
But it's
bad.
polished crap according to you.
No.
There's a lot of people out there who like the music, and I think if you expect somebody to respect your music choice, you should respect their music choice.
Well,
it
I
doesn't
don't.
have to be. It doesn't have to be your way or the highway when it comes to music.
No, it's not, I'm not saying it needs to be my way or the highway, but I'm saying if you're going to ask a man what he likes and what he wants to hear, let the man listen to a song without shutting it off 30
Well-
seconds in and turning on Wally Morgan.
Well,
no,
to,
you
to
do
be
that
fair, to be fair, when we
Wally
asked you what
Morgan.
you wanted to hear, what'd you say?
He said Wally Morgan.
Wally Morgan.
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. Wallen?
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all turn off my music.
Well, no. You just said that we listened to 10 minutes of it. My God, how many songs
10
was
minutes of
that?
what?
You said 10 minutes of Turnpike Troubadour.
No. Oh, I misspoke. 10 seconds is what I should have said.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well,
Because you didn't.
To
We
be-
didn't get a third of the way through the song.
to
That
be
was-
I
fair,
know,
the
that's how
reason we
terrible it
asked you
was.
what you wanted to hear is because as soon as the first song played, you like, oh, we're gonna listen to this crap.
No, you were actually playing Cody Jinks that time, who I like.
No, I
Yes,
did
you
not
were.
start out playing Cody Jinks. Cody Jinks was
It
further
was
than my
Chris
playlist.
Stapleton one.
No,
It was one of them.
it was. Oh, we're gonna listen to this crap. And I was like, okay, what do you want to listen to, man?
No.
I know
All
It
right.
might have been one. Okay, we're done.
Golly,
We're
yeah.
done with it. We're done with it.
that's been an ongoing argument between me and Ben for quite some time.
Well, John, what's been going on in your world, man?
He's just listening to Florida Georgia Line and sitting back, sipping on fire.
And they're
Sipping
busted
on
up
fire.
now. They're busted up now because they're.
Yeah, they're not even a thing anymore.
Okay, one more thing. I left Albany, Georgia 2 weeks ago out of Florida, and I was cutting through the backwoods, and I'm seeing all these podunk trailer houses and like cypress trees hanging to the ground, like covering up these old campers and John boats. And as I crossed the line, welcome to Florida, back, I'm like, Florida Georgia Line. I'm like, wait a minute. I see
It
how
is
they
trash
got their
music.
name.
I don't
It's
like
straight
Florida Georgia
garbage. This guy did. He used
I
to having
did.
his headphones on the dock all the time.
I like
All right,
some
I'm
of this
done.
stuff.
I'm done.
But they're done. They're done. They're not gonna
Done.
anymore.
Episode over. I'm done. Y'all go ahead.
Oh Lord.
Go ahead, Big
Maybe we'll
John.
have some Taylor Swift next poker game.
Golly. All right, so I've got a Bailey story.
Oh boy.
And for anybody who didn't listen to the other episode, Bailey's my youngest. She's 6 years old. Well, I guess it was like 2 Sundays ago. I'm sitting here in the man cave watching a baseball game, and when I'm in here, I let them play in the front driveway, let them shoot basketball, ride their scooters, whatever. Well, I'm sitting there minding my own business, and the door busts open, and Abby, my oldest, has got this look on her face like she is just worried to death. She was like, "Daddy, there's a man in a wheelchair in our driveway, and he's asking if our parents are home."
Oh God.
And I was like,
Is it the engineer guy?
"No, I'll tell you who in a
It's
minute."
our mayor candidate, but go
No,
ahead.
no, it's not the guy down the street. No.
Okay.
So, so I'm on alert. You know, I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I jump up and I go to walk out the door. Bailey is standing there with a stick like this right here, looking at the guy down the driveway.
She's ready to
and
KO
she's like,
him.
just say when. And I'm like, Bailey, put the stick down. She was like, well, I wasn't going to hit him with it. Well, turns out it was a guy running for mayor. So he got a really good impression of us whenever he came to visit our house.
Did they discuss policy before you came out?
I don't think she was discussing anything.
She's out there like what's his name, Heimdall or whatever.
So my 12-year-old is scared to death. My 6-year-old's ready to rumble. I don't get it. I mean, she is something else.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well let's take a quick break.
Quick break.
All right, folks, welcome back. I'm I want to introduce a new little segment to the show. I think we're going to call it "Is It Worth It?"
All right.
So I'm going to
Hit us
take
with it.
some different things where you have like a really well-known, established name brand, and then a cheaper alternative. So let's start the first one off with Magellan versus Columbia. Columbia is obviously, the big cheese when it comes to like sun protection and hunting, fishing, apparel, stuff like
Which
that.
one?
Columbia.
Yeah.
Columbia. And so Academy is very local to the South, and Magellan is like Academy's flagship brand. So Columbia versus Magellan, is Magellan worth the extra cost? Does Magellan?
Well, Columbia is expensive, isn't it? More expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I say Magellan?
Just for
Oh,
Yeah.
is Columbia worth the extra
Oh,
cost?
okay. Yeah.
Is Magellan a good cheap alternative to Columbia?
just to kind of clarify, so like let's just say like fishing shirts like this right here. What is the price comparison on them? Like one Columbia would
I think
cost,
like a short sleeve button up Magellan like that with the sun protection on it's like $30.
okay. I think they're $19.99, aren't they? $20. But
I
was
don't know.
more worried
Let's
about
price check it.
No,
Is it
hold on.
20 or
I was worried.
Done.
I was worried about
No,
the
no,
Columbia.
no,
I don't
no,
know how much the Columbia ones are. How much? Are the
No, let's
Columbia?
price.
Whether it's $19.99 or $20.
How much are the Columbia ones though? Because we're talking about the
Well,
price
he's
difference.
got it right now.
You can get them off the Columbia website for $45.
45. So you're talking about a $25, $30 difference.
$19.99. Big John's right. It's the long sleeves that are $30.
Okay, so you're talking about a
Magellan?
$25, $30 difference. Pretty much
Yeah.
across the board.
Correct.
well, and don't really use the $20 reference. It's double the price.
Yeah.
That's what's
Twice
important.
as much.
Twice
Oh,
as much.
okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
$20
All right.
isn't a big deal to a lot of people, but when you get into higher priced items, double the cost, it's even more of a difference.
I mean, me personally, I'm going to say no. It's not worth it to go with Columbia over Magellan because the Magellan shirts fit me good, and I like the way they fit, and it's going to be a personal preference deal. But I'm not going to pay. I shouldn't pay double the price. What? Why are you looking at me like that, man?
I'm just-
Do you disagree?
No. Yes. Well, I do, but that's not why I was looking at you. I mean,
So which one is it? No or yes?
about what?
Do you disagree?
Yeah. I
Okay,
disagree,
so
but
why
that's not
don't-
why I was looking at you.
Okay, so give us.
Oh, no. I agree that, okay, so yeah, I disagree because I do prefer Columbia over Magellan, but no, I don't think it really matters as long as it fits your personal preference. For me, Magellan doesn't come down to my belt.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if I get it in the tall or not. It doesn't come down to my belt. They fit slimmer in the shoulders. Columbia, on the other hand, I mean, this one comes all the way down to my pockets. Got plenty of room in the top end of it, and that's just me. I'll always buy Columbia. I'll pay the extra $20. It's just because of the way it fits. So in something like that, no, I don't think it matters that much because Magellan, in my opinion, it does the same thing. It's no.
So from the perspective of that is a shirt that's supposed to protect you from sun. Magellan does the same job that Columbia does. I think it does.
I do. I mean, I don't think
think it
there's a
does.
difference.
I think it does.
So I guess you're going to pay the price difference if one fits you better than the other.
Well, we live in Texas, just so to be clear, nothing really protects you from the sun in the state of Texas is until you're dead and you're 6 foot underground. I
Right.
mean, you're going to die.
Well, I'll tell you this. So we went to a Rangers game a few weeks ago, and I had my phone sitting in my lap. They had the roof open in Arlington, and the sun was just baking us. It was only about 85 degrees before
Right.
the sun was cooking that day.
Right.
And I looked down at my phone between innings, and I can barely see the screen that says, your phone is overheating.
Yep.
Please cool it down to be able to use. Oh, man. So, I wear these Habit shirts. It's a company out of Arkansas. They make the vented fishing shirts. I really like the way that these fit. I buy them at Sam's for dirt cheap, like $15 a piece.
Right.
So I took my phone and put it under my shirt tail, still sitting in the direct sun. In about 5 minutes, my phone was cool to touch, and I was able to use it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's not, and this is even a cheaper brand than, say, Magellan.
Magellan, yeah.
So I think the shirts do work as far as protecting you from the sun. I think it boils down to what's your budget, what's your personal preference.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also the same with anything. I mean,
What are you going to go with?
I don't buy them for protection from the sun. I don't have anything Columbia personally.
What about Magellan?
I wear a lot of Magellan stuff, but I just buy it and
well, he doesn't look at the price tag. He doesn't have to.
No, I do look at the price.
Oh, he absolutely looks
tag,
at the price tag.
most of the time, I don't pay full price for stuff like that. I find it on the sale
On the
rack.
sale.
I'll buy it for half price.
Yeah.
He makes a weekly academy trip
I
just
do.
to
I
see
go
what he can
Academy
find
we
on
went
sale.
last night, but you got to be careful because they'll start shooting. The people kill themselves up there this week at Academy, so you got to be
Yeah.
careful with that.
What do you mean?
I did shoot at a guy shot himself this week at Academy.
In Tyler?
Yeah, and in the parking, y'all didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah,
No.
in the parking lot. Yeah, he was distressed and walking around with a gun, and
He shot himself?
yeah, the law showed up and he shot himself in the head and killed himself.
Jesus.
That
Really?
That law never fired a shot. That happened Thursday night.
Golly.
Lord.
Yeah,
Dang.
but yeah, I don't pay. I just buy stuff, whatever's on sale, and wear it, and I don't worry about sun protection.
He might have been upset that the Columbia stuff wasn't fitting.
All right, folks, we are back. Had a little moment of technical difficulty. So back to the "Is it worth it" segment. Want to wrap it up with one that I feel pretty confident about, and we're gonna say Yeti versus Arctic, or I know Ozark Trail, Walmart brand, does a lot of their cups and stuff like that. Yeti's a really expensive name brand.
Yes, it is.
Arctic claims they can do the same job for cheaper.
Yep.
Ozark Trail is significantly cheaper. What's y'all's experience with that?
Well, I have a lifetime cooler from Walmart.
Okay.
It's kind of comparable to, and it works great. I mean, I'll buy another one. I won't go buy a big expensive Yeti. It does the job I need it to do.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, you're talking about. I spent $100 on this cooler for the same cooler, same size. It's probably gonna be like $350 for a
Yeah.
Yeti. So,
Okay.
Um,
What about cups? The little koozie.
That's-
This is a Yeti.
Yeah.
I've taken this thing in September to the deer lease. 2 hours later, the liquid inside is still just as cold as when it came out of the fridge.
well, there you go.
That's where
I don't have any experience with those. I mean, I don't use those, so I don't know.
And
I don't have a.
I do. I have that same cup holder right there in the Yeti, and it works awesome. I also have the Ozark Trail
Mhm.
in a bigger mug that I use when I'm working outside or whatever, make ice water in it, and it holds it a long time itself. So
So I think the technology behind the cheaper brands is probably the same. It's vacuum, double-walled insulation. I mean, the technology's there. It's going to work. But my issue is in the quality of the metal. I've got the Ozark Trail cups that I've been given by people. I've got some Arctic cups that I've been given by people. I've only personally bought Yeti stuff. I'm kind of a brand snob. I'll admit that. But I put the same cups in similar situations, and just using an Ozark Trail cup, washing it, putting it away, rusted.
Oh, okay.
I've had the same Yeti cup
Them
since
scoundrels trying to slip one by you.
my wife bought me a Yeti cup when we very first got married. That's over 8 years ago, and it's still perfectly fine. No rust.
I don't have no rust on my Ozark Trail. I don't know.
I don't know if I have an Ozark Trail. Or
I don't
not.
have those. I've got the Magellan cups, and
Yeah.
they work great.
Well, I have a Yeti cooler. I have a Yeti cup. I think I have an Arctic cup, and several others. I really, honestly, don't. None of them have rust. All of them work about the same. I don't guess I really have a preference. I do have a Yeti cooler, like I don't know, about like that.
Mhm.
But I don't have an Arctic to compare it to. I know that it'll keep ice. You pack ice and stuff in there. I mean, it'll last a couple days, even in September.
I'm not paying $300.
I was going to
for
say
I
to justify
the
to justify how expensive Yeti is, it would have to be a significant difference, I would think. 'Cause, I mean, you're talking about a $250 difference in price.
I'm
Yeah.
not trying to live for a week.
Well, I bought
off
mine
of
with a
ice.
gift card I got for
buy
Christmas.
and put it in
I
the
mean, I
cooler,
just,
you know,
I don't know.
stuff I do. I'm going to buy ice every couple of days anyway, so I'm not worried about
Yeah.
it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that.
All right, so
I don't
y'all
worry
a bunch
about
of cheap son of a guns.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it. All right.
Broke.
Working man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
Cutting edge.
No.
no.
No,
away
you
from
gonna
that.
skip
Settle
Ben
down,
altogether.
sir.
Oh,
Way ahead.
I do apologize.
Spring fishing is coming to a close as we transition to summertime. It'd be a good time to talk about how we're going to catch them in the summer. And particularly, does anybody here at the table have a different way, or what's the first thing you do when it comes to a transition? For me,
Panic.
well, yeah, I mean, because, some lakes it's a little different. Like, when they're still in the post spawn pattern, you can catch them pretty shallow, but they move out. And at some point, like right now, this is early May. We've had a pretty mild winter there towards the end. I mean, it started getting warm pretty early on in March.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been out in a week or two. So I would, I'm not 100% sure where they're at. But you're definitely in a transition period. So, for me, I'd have to move a little bit further out of the pockets. We were all the way back at some of the creeks a few weeks ago, catching them very, very shallow. I think it's about that time where you probably move out to 6, 7, 8 foot of water. You can still catch them shallow. Don't get me wrong, but
I'll tell you what Cutter's gonna do.
what's Cutter gonna do?
Cutter's gonna pull up on a dock or a brush pile and put that camera in the water.
Yeah,
And he's just gonna start picking them off.
That's it.
And that's, I
That's
mean,
what you do.
that's the life to have. It don't matter what time of year it is.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of us, take a little pride in the way we catch them.
I'm
and
gonna
we do a little different.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna do the same thing when it comes to crappie fishing, but bass fishing, I'm not. I mean, I will move out, but I'm also gonna stay up in them pockets near them lily pads and run that frog through there and see if they're laying.
Yeah, but
above
that doesn't
shade.
necessarily have to mean all the way at the back of a creek where it's 6 inches deep either.
Well, but I mean, you talk about one of your favorite places to fish on Lake Palestine, back up in there where the lily pads are, way back up in there.
but that's not as
they're
shallow
still
as it
in
is.
there in June.
But
I've caught
where
them
you're
there in
talking,
June.
I know, but where you're talking about is not near as shallow as it is at the very far back. I mean, it's a couple of foot deep right there where you're at.
Yeah,
I
probably
mean, I'm
2
talking,
foot.
you're talking less than a foot in a lot of places back there.
Yeah, but that's still a big difference from fishing 2 foot of water than moving offshore. I mean,
I didn't say anything about moving offshore.
I'll move out a little bit, but I will also go up in there and hit them lily pads with that topwater frog.
Okay.
And I've had success doing that.
We're gonna go
Yeah.
catch a limited crappie.
Come on, get in my boat, buddy.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
go. I'll show you how it's
tired-
done.
Yeah,
Tired
he'll
of
probably
this.
take you. He won't take me.
Tired of this dog fight.
You got a boat. He don't have a boat. He don't have a boat.
Right.
You
some
have
of
a
us-
boat. So why do I need to take you? I've already taught you how to do it, and you can't even teach your uncle how to do it. So we've discussed that. So
Wow.
Well, anyway.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
run into a situation that you ran into where the teachee becomes better than the teacher.
that ain't
Oh,
happening.
that would be
He's trying to stay modest, is what he's saying. All right. So this time of year, we're gonna be moving out deeper
I
a
am.
little bit. Yeah.
I am. I mean, I'm not going out to 20 foot of water yet, but I would say within the next, the warming trend we're under right now continues, I would say within the next 4 or 5 weeks, I'll be out on ledges and points and humps.
Would you say that the next probably month or so is probably the toughest time to fish?
No,
Just
I
no?
think it's actually the funnest time, the best time to catch for bass fishing.
Really?
I think it's the best time to catch them. Maybe not best time, but you can catch them anyway. If you want to catch them wacky, Texas rig, topwater bite should be fired
I'm just
up,
saying as far as
suspended.
like trying to locate them in this transition period.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that might be fair.
Okay.
That might be fair. All right.
That was a boring
awkward
topic,
pause.
wasn't it?
No,
Bass
it wasn't that
fishing.
boring. It wasn't that boring.
Bass fishing. Come on.
We threw us a crappie fishing and
Yeah, we tried to. We'll get
Well,
back.
that doled it up pretty good.
well, I'll tell you what. Let's stay on this. Let's stay on this for the cutting edge.
Oh, why wouldn't you?
And we're gonna go right into crappie fishing just to give
Alright.
you something to talk about.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is your expertise, your wheelhouse.
He's getting you a meatball ready.
he's trying to. He's trying to.
Here you go. Okay.
Throw it at me.
Give us some advice on what to look for whenever you're trying to determine which docks to fish and which to catch crappie on and which docks. Is there something you look at above the water? Something you look at under the water?
Below
What
the
do-
water, I think you'd be
Yeah.
looking for fish, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't find many up on top.
but I'm talking about since you want to be smart, Alec. I'm talking about in
I mean,
specific.
good point, Ben.
There's certain docks that you won't fish because you have cross members
Yeah,
running down into the water.
I have noticed one thing. I have one particular dock, and it's the only one that I found like that. It has a flag out on
Oh,
the eave
gosh.
up there that it's pointed to the east.
Uh-huh.
That dock right there, for some reason, has more fish on it than any other dock. So I would say one of the best things to do would be find a dock that has an east pointed flag out on the front of it,
Yeah.
and
I
that
wouldn't have
gives you-
spilt that secret, but
I mean,
He
but
is not going.
I mean, and that dock does hold a lot of fish. If you find that specific dock, I promise you will catch them. But
give us
yeah,
some.
east dock. it does
Flag
have it.
facing east. Okay.
Flag facing
Noted.
east.
Noted.
Yeah,
Hope you are writing
but
that down.
now you want to look for a dock that's got a lot of cover. A big dock that's got a lot of dark under it. Dark shaded spots.
Got a big deck coming off of
Big
it.
deck, something like that, or even boat lifts.
Like the jet
Jet
ski
ski
lifts.
lifts. Yeah. Instead of boat lifts, jet ski lifts. It's a flat platform, something like that.
What about water depth, creeks, then proximity?
Right now,
I mean,
I catch them shallow, and I catch them on deeper docks too. It doesn't. It just depends. It's like they move. They may be here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same with anything else, but yeah, the darkness of the dock helps. Just hunting and finding them.
Yeah.
You gotta. I got
You had any more success with docks on points versus docks up in a cove?
Nah, not this year. This year's been pretty tough. I did notice here lately that
It's been pretty tough for some.
Yeah, it has been. It has been tough for some. It's been tough for me. I admit it. But I think I've
Dial back in.
I think things are turning.
Yeah.
Seem to be turning a little bit. So I think it's going to be.
So you haven't had to call
me
Big John and ask him where the fish are and get him to help you locate the fish since the
that
last
day?
time?
No, sir.
Okay, that's good.
Matter of fact, I don't even think he's been fishing since then because
Yes, I have. We just talked about in the last episode.
Yeah, he was trying to tear somebody's dock up because you had him in the back of the boat. We discussed that.
But we still caught 31 on a day. You caught 3. I didn't want to bring that up, but I mean, it happened. He's not gonna entertain it.
Bring it back
He's
in.
not
It's
gonna
supposed to be
entertain
cutting edge.
Yeah, it's
advice.
supposed
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm debunking the guy that's giving the advice. Sorry, man. My
I
bad.
guess I'm done.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Yeah, talk to the professional when you know questions.
All right, well, let's take a quick break. All right, folks, we are back. Let's knock out some least likely to.
I knew you were.
Actually, before that, listen, I want to address something that we just specifically said we were not going to address on the podcast.
Oh,
So I want to hear this story again. So Cutter was teaching Big John how to shoot docks in his boat. And where did you say Big John was sitting during this lesson?
You really want me to tell
I
this?
would love for the listeners to hear where
This is once again, my stories are true. They're not made up. But I taught myself how to shoot docks several years ago, and I met John, and he kind of wanted to learn how. I said, okay, I'll take you, and I'll teach you what I know. And I don't know a whole lot. I said, but I'll teach you what I know, and to how to do this. Anyhow, so we was in his boat. His boat's, big $100,000 Skeeter. It's top of the line.
Nothing but the best.
He'll let you know about it. He's proud of that boat.
Yeah.
I don't
And he'll
brag
sit up there on the
about
front of that boat like he is fishing the Bassmaster
Yeah.
Classic, And I'm talking about this is, you just stay, this is my spot. So we was out there fishing that day, and he wasn't doing very good.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't doing very good at all. And the fish were there. The dock's loaded. And we're sitting there and we're fishing, and I've got something. I can even add something to it.
Oh,
And so we'll matter of fact, I think this was the same day. We was fishing, and he was shooting under there and couldn't catch a fish, and I was just every cast catching a fish, and he was fishing with a white jig, and I was fishing with a different color jig, and I said, I bet you $100 bill I could take your jig and catch a fish.
Oh no.
He said, no, you can't.
Oh no.
So I took the jig off of his and put on mine,
Right.
the same one he was using. First shot, caught a fish. He couldn't believe it. So he kind of got his feelings hurt. He kind of wandered off. But I said, "What are you doing?" I'm just gonna take a break for a minute. I'm just gonna watch. Okay.
well, that's how you learn.
So I sat up there and I got in the captain's seat up on the front. And but I felt like a big dog.
Oh,
Cause
yeah.
I don't have a Skeeter. I don't have that big boat like this.
You feel powerful, don't
Man,
you?
I'm the man.
Yeah.
Now I got the owner in the back of the boat. And that don't happen much. So I'm
Not this owner.
Yeah, I know, not him. So I'm shooting under there and I'm catching these fish, and I said, "Hey, just stay back there and be my net man, son. Just stay in the back of the boat and hold
And
the
what'd he
net."
do? What'd he do?
He sat back there with
Yeah,
the net.
yeah.
Come on, I got him.
Bring it to me.
I
Bring it
got
to
it.
me.
Here, John. He'll net him, and time he gets it in the live well, I done got another one. I
You
bring it
gotta
up.
start somewhere,
Okay,
man.
but to be fair, he said you didn't miss it. You didn't miss a single net.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a good
I would
net
hope
man.
not. Have you seen the size of the net on the front of that boat?
He had it. He's a good net man, but he's got better.
Put
at
a
it.
net that big on a fish that big.
He's got better. He's doing better.
Well, that's
He's
good.
better
You and
fishing
Dylan
than
have
that.
something in common.
Oh, shoot.
That's right, because he was my net man that day we were out there fishing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you would leave that one fish alone for about 3 hours.
Yeah, you were up there. Dylan was when we come by y'all. You were up on the front of the boat, like ducked down behind your seat on the deck of the boat, like very methodically trying to get that fish to bite on the bed. And Dylan's back there with the net.
But your determination and grit paid off because you won,
We won that,
yeah,
yeah.
he won that. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
So he did a great job on the net. I did a great job on the net.
All right.
No, that's good. That's
Had
good.
to come up.
Yeah,
That had to come out.
I like it. So back to least likely to. Man, I don't know. Least likely to ask for directions.
I ain't asking.
Yeah,
No, he ain't.
No,
No, he's least likely to ask for directions.
really.
I ain't asking. And I'm
Like
gonna
even
tell
if
me
even if someone offers to give you directions, you're not interested.
He don't need
Nope.
it. Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I mean,
even if it means going to the
I
wrong
can't
place.
remember very many times. Even like when we were both running P&D, like he wouldn't ask for directions. And if I would try to say directions or something, he'd be like, he'd act like he's listening. Oh, okay. He wasn't taking none
That's
of it
me.
down.
That is me. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't taking none.
I'd rather
of it
punch it in Google and just roll with it.
He'd rather make 4 or 5 missed turns and learn from his mistakes than ask for directions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. There's honesty in that. Least likely to use a public bathroom.
Okay, I'm gonna
Hey,
switch.
me.
This,
Yeah,
I'm gonna switch this over real quick. Most likely to use the public bathroom would be him right there because it doesn't matter when it hits.
Once again, we're at least. We're
Yeah.
talking about least.
Least likely is me. I don't use public bathrooms.
Really?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, I don't like to unless I get in a real bad bind.
Well,
but I
even
will
he didn't
hold
like
it.
using the bathroom at work. Like he would go to the bathroom and use 2 cans of Lysol in there and give everybody a headache. I mean, at some point you would just rather smell the stink than all the Lysol he sprayed. Like, bro,
No,
everybody
dude.
goes to the bathroom, just leave it alone.
No.
I used to be like that
I'm not.
until
But I don't like to use public bathrooms. I don't.
me and Kelly were in Mexico on our honeymoon.
Oh gosh.
And we were supposed to be meeting the tour guide at the Starbucks in the mall in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And boy, it hit me. So I've used the public bathroom in Mexico. I think I've overcome most of life
Yeah.
at that point. So okay, this one right here is going to be kind of twisted. Least likely to admit when they're wrong. Now remember, if you say I'm least likely to admit when I'm wrong, you're admitting that you're not wrong.
I don't know that this one really applies to me that much because there's not very many cases where
See,
I'm wrong.
There we go.
No.
There we go.
And that in
And
itself is
exhibit
admitting that
A.
you're not wrong.
You're the answer. Least
No.
likely to admit you're wrong.
But you have to be wrong
Well,
to admit you're wrong.
and
This,
you
this
are.
show proves he's wrong because Tony Dorsett didn't go to Texas. We already know that.
no.
So, yeah.
See episode
You're right,
1.
You're
Yeah,
right
see
about
episode
that,
1,
but that
yeah.
wasn't because I didn't know. It was because I misspoke.
No, you didn't know that somebody brought it up to you.
Okay, just because you didn't know, you misspoke. In that moment of time,
You
You're
were
wrong.
wrong.
No.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. So, you win that, buddy.
Exhibit A does not admit when he's wrong.
I can admit when I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I can admit when I'm wrong.
I have no
Just man
problem
up,
saying
Ben.
the words "my bad."
All right.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's all
Well,
we do.
I spaced out.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Tight Line and Brown Times podcast.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe on your YouTube and follow us on Facebook.
And if there's a question you have for us or just something you want to hear us talk about, either leave us a comment or email us at tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com. tightlinesandbrowtines.tx@gmail.com.
That's right, and that is tight lines and brow tines.
Yep.
Not brown tines.
Am I
I did
saying
say
brown?
Tines? No, he said. I think he's looking at me.
I think you
Maybe
did.
misunderstood. I said Brown Tines.
Dot text.
Maybe
He
you were
said
wrong.
He said dot text that time. Remember, he's like dot text. tightlinesandbrowtines.text@gmail.com.
Can't win.
All right, folks. Until next time, y'all stay safe and stay outdoors.
And if anybody would like any of their fishing or hunting memorabilia autograph, just send it to us, and he will personally sign it. Your net man and mail it back to you.